The Senate chamber was tense, a palpable sense of anticipation hanging in the air. Senator John Kennedy, known for his sharp wit and pointed questions, was locked in a heated exchange with former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. Kennedy's reputation for incisive questioning had everyone on edge, and today was no different. The topic? The Department of Justice and whether it had become a political weapon. This was not just a routine inquiry, it was a deep dive into the integrity of one of the nation's most critical institutions. Kennedy, with his trademark folksy style, cut to the heart of the matter. Was the DOJ still a fair arbiter of justice, or had it become a tool for settling political scores? His questions were direct, his tone unwavering. The exchange was more than just a difference of opinion. It laid bare a fundamental question about the very nature of American democracy. The room was filled with a sense of urgency, as if the very soul of the nation was being debated. Bondi, defending the actions of the DOJ under recent administrations, argued that the department was simply carrying out its duty to uphold the law. She maintained that every action taken was in the interest of justice, not politics. Kennedy, however, wasn't buying it. His skepticism was evident, his questions relentless. He wanted answers, not just reassurances. He pointed to a string of high-profile cases, questioning whether they were motivated by justice or by political expediency. Each case he mentioned seemed to add weight to his argument, casting doubt on Bondi's defense. The back and forth was a microcosm of a larger debate raging across the country. Can the American people trust their own justice system? The stakes were high. This wasn't just about the DOJ, it was about the very fabric of American society. If the DOJ, the very institution tasked with upholding the law, was seen as biased or politically motivated, it would erode public trust. The implications were profound, touching every corner of the nation. This, Kennedy argued, would have disastrous consequences for the country. The erosion of trust in the justice system could lead to a breakdown in the rule of law, shaking the foundations of democracy itself. The hearing was a stark reminder of the delicate balance that must be maintained to ensure justice for all. The American justice system is built on a foundation of legitimacy. This legitimacy is not just a legal requirement, but a moral one, ensuring that justice is not only done, but is seen to be done. This means that the people must believe in the fairness and impartiality of the legal process. The perception of fairness is crucial because it fosters trust and confidence in the system. It's not enough for justice to be served, it must also be seen to be served. Transparency and accountability are key components in maintaining this perception. When people lose faith in the justice system, they are less likely to cooperate with law enforcement, to report crimes, or to participate in the judicial process. This erosion of trust can have far-reaching consequences. This can lead to a breakdown of law and order as people take justice into their own hands. Vigilantism and civil unrest can become more common when the system is perceived as failing. Furthermore, a loss of legitimacy in the justice system can undermine the rule of law itself. The very fabric of society can begin to unravel when laws are not respected. If people believe that the law is applied unfairly or inconsistently, they are less likely to follow it. This selective adherence to the law can create chaos and disorder. This can create a climate of impunity where the powerful can act with impunity and the vulnerable are left with no recourse. The scales of justice must remain balanced to ensure that everyone, regardless of their status, is treated equally under the law. Ultimately, the legitimacy of the justice system is a cornerstone of a functioning democracy. It ensures that all citizens have faith in the system that governs them, promoting peace, stability, and justice for all. To illustrate his point, Kennedy pointed to the cases of Michael Avenatti and Sam Bankman-Fried. Avenatti, once a media darling and fierce critic of then-President Trump, was later convicted of extortion and other crimes. Bankman-Fried, the founder of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX, faced charges of fraud and money laundering after his company's spectacular collapse. These cases, Kennedy argued, demonstrated that the DOJ was willing to hold powerful individuals accountable, regardless of their political affiliations. Avenatti's fall from grace was particularly striking. He had made a name for himself by representing Stormy Daniels in her legal battles with Trump. His aggressive tactics and frequent media appearances made him a hero to some and a villain to others. However, his legal troubles revealed a darker side. Avenatti's conviction included charges of wire fraud and aggravated identity theft, which painted a stark contrast to his public persona. The Bankman-Fried case, while different in nature, also highlighted the DOJ's willingness to pursue high-profile individuals. Bankman-Fried's downfall was a significant event in the world of cryptocurrency. Bankman-Fried, once hailed as a visionary entrepreneur, was accused of orchestrating a massive fraud that cost investors billions of dollars. His case sent shockwaves through the financial industry, raising questions about the regulation and oversight of digital currencies. These cases, Kennedy argued, showed that the DOJ was not afraid to go after anyone, regardless of their wealth, status, or political connections. The message was clear: no one is above the law. The pursuit of justice in these high-profile cases serves as a reminder that accountability is paramount, and the legal system is designed to uphold this principle, even when it involves the most influential figures in society. However, Kennedy also cautioned against the dangers of using the justice system to target political opponents. He argued that prosecuting someone simply because of their political beliefs was a dangerous road to go down. This, he warned, would turn justice into a political weapon, eroding public trust and undermining the rule of law. Kennedy's concerns were not without merit. History is replete with examples of regimes using the justice system to silence dissent and consolidate power. In such systems, the law becomes a tool of oppression, used to punish enemies and reward allies. This is the very antithesis of a free and fair society. Section 5. Justice, not politics. Kennedy's plea for fairness. Kennedy's message was clear. The Department of Justice must be an instrument of justice, not politics. He called for a return to fairness and impartiality, urging both sides of the political aisle to put aside their differences and work together to restore public trust in the justice system. "This ain't about Democrats or Republicans," Kennedy declared, his voice echoing through the chamber. "This is about right and wrong. It's about making sure that everyone, regardless of who they are or what they believe, is treated fairly under the law." His words were a much-needed reminder that the pursuit of justice should transcend partisan politics. Section 6. Rooting out the bad apples. Removing bias from the DOJ. Kennedy's call for fairness resonated with many Americans who had grown increasingly concerned about the politicization of the Department of Justice. He acknowledged that there were bad apples within the DOJ, individuals who may have allowed their personal biases to influence their decisions. He called for these individuals to be held accountable, arguing that removing them was essential to restoring public trust. "We can't just sweep this under the rug," Kennedy said. "We need to root out the bad apples, no matter who they are or who they're connected to. We need to send a clear message that this kind of behavior won't be tolerated." His words were a call to action, a demand for accountability and transparency within one of the most powerful institutions in the country. Section 7. Supporting the good guys, protecting integrity and law enforcement. However, Kennedy was also careful to emphasize that the vast majority of people working within the DOJ were dedicated public servants who were committed to upholding the law. He stressed the importance of supporting these good guys, arguing that they were essential to maintaining law and order. "We can't let the actions of a few tarnish the reputation of the many," Kennedy said. "We need to support the good guys, the ones who are out there every day putting their lives on the line to keep us safe. They deserve our respect, our gratitude, and our unwavering support." Section 8. Rebuilding Trust. A call to action for Americans. Kennedy's exchange with Bondi was a stark reminder of the fragility of trust in a democracy. He issued a call to action, urging Americans to engage in a national conversation about the role of the Department of Justice and the importance of restoring public trust. "This is our country, our justice system," Kennedy said. "We can't just sit back and let it be eroded by cynicism and distrust. We need to talk to each other, to listen to each other, and to work together to find common ground. The future of our democracy depends on it." Section 9. Restoring Faith and Justice, a shared responsibility. The task of restoring faith in the Department of Justice is not one that falls solely on the shoulders of lawmakers or those working within the justice system. It is a shared responsibility, a collective effort that requires the participation of all Americans. It requires vigilance, a willingness to hold those in power accountable, and a commitment to the principles of fairness and impartiality. The exchange between Kennedy and Bondi served as a potent reminder that the pursuit of justice is an ongoing process, one that demands constant attention and unwavering commitment. It is a process that requires us to confront uncomfortable truths, to challenge our own biases, and to work together to create a more just and equitable society for all.